This is my watch list for Thursday, June 4th. All right, so what happened yesterday? We finally, looks like we broke the structure, right? We broke the structure of the uptrend and we had a nice sell day. We broke the 755 level I mentioned and sold all the way down into 752. And today we're gapping down a little bit below that as well, okay? So what can we watch today? I'd be interested in the 755 reject. We get the pop and fade off the open 755. I like shorts here. 754, 755 in this area. We see signs of weakness. I like shorts for continuation lower. All right, 748 is our next big demand below. If we lose 748, then we can really start sliding, down here, 743, 741, this area in here, where we had some rejections back in mid-May, okay? But 748 is kind of like the last, I would say this is like the last line of defense. And if we lose that, then this can really start selling from here, okay? But I do like the 755 pop and fade. We can watch that today. QQQ, gapping down a little bit even more, right? Down 1.13% right now in the pre-market. We lost at 742 level. Yes, actually we lost it in the after hours after Avgo reported earnings. So Avgo reported and it's just getting crushed. Stock's down 15%. I think it was already priced in. Even though they beat earnings, they did well. They guided higher. It was just priced in at this point, okay? So the Qs are selling. Chips are kind of selling this morning. And we lost to 742. We are right now below the 736 level I had mentioned, but we're sitting right there, okay? 731 is my big demand. I want to see, we could either look for a bounce here. Let's see if it holds 731, or if we lose 731, this has room all the way down into 725. Okay, so this is also, we could look for a pop and fade on this one as well, around 741, 742. Yesterday's low, I think it's 741, yeah. 741, we can look for a pop and fade off of that on the Qs, okay? So both of these names I like for pop and fade. SPY, QQQ, SPY 755, QQQ 741, 742, pop and fade, okay? Because we're finally starting to see weakness. We broke the structure. You can draw a trend line if you want, right? Draw a trend line. We broke the structure, okay? We broke the structure. So let's see if we get those pop and fades, or we may just get direct selling off the open into 731, where we can watch to see if we hold that demand or if we continue selling, okay? Apple, this looks like it may still have room for upside, honestly. Like we sold the 315 yesterday, but then we recovered almost the entire move, and now we're actually gapping up in the pre-market. So I actually like this if we reclaim 315 today. This looks like a good long. I think Brett took this yesterday for a decent trade, but I actually, if this can reclaim 315, I actually think this has room. This has potential. Okay, chips are starting to sell. AMD starting to sell, down 4.5% here in the pre-market. This is good for our swing positions. We're in that MUD, which is an opposite of MU, right? This is a bear 1x ETF of MU, and it's up 6.5% in the pre-market. And we're also in the SOX, which is up 12% in the pre-market. This is an inverse of SOX, the semiconductor ETF. So those are both looking good this morning. Let's see, AMD, I'm not watching anything specific. I don't have any specific levels beside, we had talked about this yesterday with Brett. It was like 520, right? If we're below 520, I wouldn't really touch longs because this can sell all the way back down to 45, 46, this area right here. If we lose at 46, then 470 is the one area I actually do like for longs. This was a big pivot, so we probably will see a reaction off that 470, okay? Amazon, this was a beautiful trade yesterday. We talked about this in the pre-market. I said if we get below 255, this can sell all the way to 250. And it sold all the way to 248, right? Contracts exploded. This was just a beautiful, clean setup, clean trade, continuation. I love when we trend like this. I mean, we just rode the ADMA all day. Beautiful, okay? So what can you watch on Amazon today? Pop and fade, 255, okay? If for whatever reason this reclaims 255, it turns into a long. But if we just pop and we're showing weakness, we can short this again off the same level that we shorted yesterday. Google, not watching anything. It already made the move. I mentioned this 383. I should have swung some puts because this was just such a nice level we broke, and it's just sold all the way into the. I was watching. I said we could inverse this entire move, and that's what we did. Meta. So Meta held demand, held that 595 demand again, And now we're back into the 624. I actually like the 624 reclaim for longs. If we reclaim 624, then let's go 636 at this point, okay? 624 reclaim goes to 636. Microsoft, I was watching this 433 yesterday. There was just pretty aggressive selling off the open, so I didn't touch it. At this point, you would want to see a reclaim of that 433. Reclaim 433 for longs, but you got to be careful because market's kind of weak. Let's see what happens. Netflix got kind of crushed yesterday, down 2%. I don't have anything on Netflix, guys. Honestly, this chart, we've got to reclaim 85 at this point for longs. I just don't have anything here. PLTR already bouncing off my level in the pre-market. Remember I said I wouldn't long PLTR until it gets to 140. It already bounced, a couple percentage points off of that 140. It's up 1.5% pre-market. We already bounced $4 off the level. So yeah, I don't have anything for pounds here. Nvidia, whoa, is the head and shoulder coming into play? A lot of people said, oh, it's going back to all-time high. I don't know, guys. This looks like a head and shoulder to me, right? I'm a technical trader. This looks like a head and shoulder to me, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. They're not always going to be perfectly, level, right? This is like an inclining head and shoulder, but it's still a head and shoulder, okay? So at this point for Nvidia, if it gets below 209, which was the level from Wednesday, May 27th, this is going to sell into 196, okay? So this is actually something that we can watch today. If Nvidia loses that 209 level, this can sell all the way down to 196. It may not do it in a day. It may take a couple of days, but I actually really like this head and shoulder, the neckline. You draw the neckline the same way. Because it's an incline head and shoulder, you draw the neckline the same way. So the neckline would be basically this trend, okay? So technically speaking, pre-market, we're already below the neckline, okay? So now if we lose 209, this can sell into the 190s. If for whatever reason off the open, we reclaim this neckline and reclaim 218, that's your long, okay? That's the only time I would long this. Otherwise, this is not a long, this is a short, okay? This is weak. If we reclaim 218, then you guys can long it, okay? So SPY's already taking a little beating here. If we get below the 748, like the short QQQ, whoa, taking a beating. Down 1.5% on the Qs. 731 though, let's see what happens there. Tesla, okay, so here's the thing with Tesla, guys. We have the SpaceX IPO next week. Be careful with this. Be careful with this. This could go up, down, it could go anywhere at this point. We do have a nice trend here. I mean, you see the hourly trend, right? Look at the hour, look at the 4 hour. We have an uptrend. This is clearly an uptrend. However, with the SpaceX IPO, this could definitely affect Tesla's share price. It could get a little bit wonky. Okay, it could get a little bit wonky. If we lose the trend, obviously I wouldn't touch longs. So pay attention to that. If Tesla breaks this trend today, not touching longs. Don't touch longs, okay? If we hold the trend, start showing signs of momentum, you guys can look for longs on this, right? But I would just be careful with that SpaceX IPO coming up. This could get, I think we're going to get a big move, one way or the other. I just don't know which way, and no one does, okay? So that's pretty much my watch for today. Let's see what happens with a few of these names. I like Amazon, I like Nvidia, I like SPY and the Qs. Let's see what happens. Should be an interesting session, and I'll see you guys on live.